And welcome back from that break, peeps. We are here in the JJ Zone. Join the Journey Radio today, talking about this three-part process for making changes in our lives: stop, turn, act. First, we stop, we do what we're doing, we turn to the Lord for guidance, and then the last step is we act on that guidance. And with this three-part process, we can make the changes in our lives that we need to make. Now, sometimes changes don't come easy. We all know this. Sometimes the changes we need to make don't come overnight, so they require patience. That's fine. But oftentimes we get so frustrated, and I find that by and large, frustration is a sign you're going about something the wrong way. Oftentimes, we make assumptions that just aren't true. For example, I can remember in my younger days, I thought, hey, I'm just, why am I still single? It's like I'm doing everything that I think I should be doing. I'm honoring my covenants and keep the commandments and all that good stuff. I'm keeping the standards. So how come it is that I'm not married? 'Cause that's the message we hear a lot, right? Oh, you just got to be righteous and hold on. Keep doing what you're doing, stay active, and eventually it'll all work out for you. Well, here it was, it's not working out for me. Still hasn't worked out, by the way. But I feel a lot better about my situation now because I have operated on different assumptions. Back then, I was feeling all frustrated because I was going about something the wrong way. I had a faulty assumption in my head. I was thinking that hey, I should be getting the Lord should be blessing me with a companion because I'm righteous, because I'm doing the right thing. And there's a lot of singles who think that way. On you know if you get married, then you don't think anything about it. But if you don't get married, you end up single, you get really frustrated because, I mean, obviously, that assumption is not leading you to the place where you need to be or it's the place where you want to be. Let's put it that way. Um, and to keep up with some of the ideas is like some people think that people who are single because they're needed. There's something they need to do that they could do more easily while they're single than if they were married. And okay, I can see where that may be true for some people, but I don't think that's necessarily true for all people who are single. In fact, I believe that the large majority of people who are single because they're not attending to fundamentals. I mean, they're not following the fundamentals of the dating journey, and they haven't integrated that into their lives. And until they start understanding the fundamentals and trying to proceed through their dating journey with the fundamentals in mind and understand the difference between the natural man, the natural woman on the one hand, and the covenant man and the covenant woman on the other hand, they're not going to make any real progress in their journey. Because again, they're going about something the wrong way. They got faulty assumptions about how things should go, and they're acting according to those faulty assumptions. So, faulty assumptions lead to faulty actions. And what kind of results do you think you're going to get if your actions are faulty? You get faulty results because the results you get in life are always commensurate with the action that you take. So if you take no action, you get no results. If you take poor action, you get poor results. If you take good action, you get good results. So if you got to take the action that's connected with the results that you want to get. And I mean, and it's just, again, this just makes sense going back once more to D&C 130. That we don't receive a blessing unless we've, obeyed the law. It's upon which the blessing's predicated. That's all this is. So if you want the blessings of an eternal companion, then you need to obey the principles that are, upon which that blessing's predicated. And that's why I keep harping back to fundamentals. That's why I keep harping on this program about changing the way that you think. And, looking at your assumptions, questioning your assumptions, and questioning your attitude and questioning your self-talk and looking at the habits that you have in your life and all of these things. They all lead into the actions that you take, and the actions that you take are going to give you the results that you get. So if you want a different life, you can have a different life. You just need to take different action. And, the question always comes up at that point, well, I don't know what actions to take. And especially if you're frustrated, you're really going to feel super frustrated when you hear somebody like me saying, hey, you just need to take different action. Well, that's great. But what action do I take? It's like, I'm pulling my hair out. You can see I've gone through this a lot because I don't have a lot of hair on my head. So I've been through this quite a bit. I know I'm an expert, man. I know because I got the proof right here, buddy. Ah, yeah, so yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling of frustration. I'm telling you, frustration's a sign you're going about something the wrong way. So you need to just step back, and just say, look, I got to approach this differently. How can I approach this differently? And this is where the second part of that change, you turn, not just turn into a new direction so you can do something different, but turn to the Lord. Turn to the Lord and seek guidance and counsel with Him. That's an interesting expression when you think about it. It's like counseling with the Lord. What does that really mean? You take Him on as a life partner. I mean, a partner is somebody that you interact with. There's back and forth, right? There's give and take. But at the same time, you're working side by side and you're working together to get to a common end, common goal, common objective. Just do that with your life, man. Take the Lord on as your life partner. Partner with Him, you know? Have that back and forth with Him. I mean, really, when you pray, what's the quality of your prayer? When you pray, it's going through a laundry list of, help me with this and help me with that. Or are you sharing with Him feelings and emotions and, expressions of experiences and, and thoughts about what you could do and how you could approach a problem and just go back and forth. I mean, I've had experiences where I try to engage a dialogue while I'm in prayer. I've had this multiple on occasions where a thought will come into my head. That's the Lord talking back to me. That's, I'm giving Him something. So now I can take something back because He gave me something. A thought will come in my head. It's what you need to do is I'll take that thought and I'll talk it out with Him. And through this give and take process, eventually come to a point where it's like, yeah, so I'm gonna go try something. Sometimes things work out great. Other times, I have what you would call a special learning experience. So I have to go back to the drawing board, go back and say, okay, this didn't quite work out. Maybe I just got that thick skull and it didn't quite get through. Can you help me with this again? And of course, the Lord being patient and whatnot, He helps me through. That's what it is, peeps. You partner with the Lord, take Him on, and then when He gives you, so this is a three-part process. Stop what you're doing, turn to the Lord, and then act on whatever He gives you. I mean, eventually you're going to come to a point where you're on the path that will lead to your ultimate, greatest, biggest happiness that you could possibly have. And this is the thing that gets me, right? Because I was thinking about what I was talking about on the program last week, and I was like, this whole thing about, dating people that we don't want to date because the Lord tells us to, that's going to freak a lot of people out. Because quite frankly, they just don't have the faith to give up what the natural man or the natural woman is telling them and take a step out and say, you know what? I'm not marrying this person. Again, fundamentals, okay? Be in the place where you are. There are stages to the dating journey. Be in the stage where you're at, right? Don't freak out and think you got to marry somebody just because you go out with them once. I mean, come on. I mean, if you haven't, first of all, you haven't even gone out with them. You're not even in a casual dating stage. You're in the friendship stage, right? So, and then you secure the agreement to go out on a date. So now you've progressed to the casual dating stage. Again, you're still in the early part of the dating journey. You're nowhere near the end. And yet so many people freak out. No, we don't want to date that person. And they're talking, and they take all these what if scenarios, and they bring them out, and they just dwell on them like it's an absolute certainty. When in actuality, very little of that. I mean, come on. I mean, I could tell you, like, the decades that I've been single, and how many people I've dated over those years, and how many of those dates have led to, you know, the end result. Not a one. Not a one. There were. I mean, somebody got close, but that's a different story for a different time. Right now, I'm looking at the clock and seeing, wow, I kind of overshot this. I didn't even talk about like how all this I learned about Gen affecting Join the Journey Radio. So let's go take that break, and I can collect this together and get some final thoughts together. And because we don't have a lot of time left in the program, peeps. So I will see you there on the other side.